Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As I was about to tell today's video, we have my new 6'3" do-it-all offensive point guard in NBA 2K23. However, I do want to address this first and foremost at the beginning of the video. I'm sure a lot of you guys know, like 4 builds ago, I posted that this was my final build of 2K23. It was my 6'11" inside center. Come to find out, I really wanted to play 5 out, and I had like 4 more builds that I would make after it, and this is the final one. Now, the reason I made this, and I already shouted 2K out in the last video, so we won't really need to do too much of it in this one. Not that I even needed to in the one prior to this, but even though I don't have to, I do want to thank 2K. They allowed me to get the build to 99 overall and max badges. I still had to pay the VC myself, but it was no grind required, and it was a one-time thing. So this was the reason that I wanted to make this, because I had to make the decision within about like 4 days of them telling me, because it was just any of the people that got their logos and stuff. They were all also given the opportunity to get a build all the way to 99 and max badges and stuff like that too. So I had to come up with a build, and you know, I could have just not spent the money as well. I could have just like said, no, it's all good, I already have all the builds that I want and stuff like that. But I did want to try one more style all year, and something that I haven't really made yet, but I do think has a lot of potential. Now, I also want to preface another former video that I made where people will maybe critique this video, where I was saying 6'2" to 6'7" ball handlers or play initiators are extinct in 2K23, and I think that's very true, excluding the 6'3s. I don't see anything between 6'2", 6'4", 6'5", 6'7", 6'7", and 6'6", as far as the builds that actually handle the ball. I feel like 6'3" though has some very valid options to it. It also gets a little bit more attribute ratings than a 6'4" and a 6'5" seem to. Although 6'1s are still broken. They are definitely the most ridiculous point guard build in the game. However, what 6'3" provides at the 6'9" wingspan is a really amazing threshold cap and just like combo that you don't see on any other build. So we have 93 dunk, that gives you gold poster obviously. 92 gives you the elite contact dunks, and then we also have 92 3-pointer for the gold limitless. On top of that as well, we have 97 ball handle that gives the Hall of Fame killer combos. Now syncing up in this season as well with season 6, I'm sure some of you guys know, some of you may not. There are new core badge patterns where there is one that actually gives you 2 playmaking, 1 shooting, and then 1 finishing as well. So those are your 4 right there. 1 finishing, 1 shooting, 2 playmaking, 0 defense. Now, I've also seen small point guards get away with this stuff. I've seen them play lanes with 25 steal. I've seen the fact that 6'1s can maybe even sometimes get contest on 6'7s in the corner and stuff like that for comp pro-am. And albeit this is a 6'3 build with a 6'9 wingspan, so I do believe in this build even more to be able to get contest on those said players. And then also, I've seen this firsthand now too, even after making the build. The 58 interior defense is an amazing addition to this build. I really do need to suggest this to you guys like so strongly, because as you can see, it's the difference between 2 speed or something like that, or maybe like 1 more vertical essentially. And again, I truly do believe in the fact that 58 interior defense with this level of wingspan and height is really nice, and I think for how cheap that is, it's so important to be putting this up on a build. I don't think you should ever like just leave it at 25. And sure, you know, hypothetically I could put my close shot to 67 or something like that instead, at the expense of, you know, taking my interior defense all the way down. But I really do think this is something that is going to make this build viable, and I don't want to be a complete traffic cone on defense. I want to make sure I can actually at least do something, and contesting shots, whether it's on the interior or the perimeter on 6'7", and you know, similarly tall builds to me on pro-am that have very minimal finishing, shooting, and playmaking investment, aka pure locks that sit in the corner. I want to be able to comfortably guard those types of people, or even rec center just to zone it and play corner or something like that, or hide on a wing maybe even. I think this build could actually do so, as long as it's all based on rotations and people helping me in the paint, or if I'm guarding the weakest matchup on the court and I can do so. Now, let's talk about offense, because that's obviously what this build is here for, and that's what the title of the video even is. 92 3-pointer, we got gold agent, gold limitless, gold blinders, all that stuff, even the potential to run gold deadeye if I would like to as well. Finishing wise, you got all types of dunks, and as you can see with our vertical listed as well, we have the small contact dunks on top of that. Now, I could have like penny pinched this down to 82 vertical, but honestly, going all in for a slasher-esque 6'3" point guard, I wanted to make sure I still get the small contact dunk packages. However, one thing this build is going to be struggling with is going to be badge count. You're going to need a lot of extra badges to make something like this if you want to. And I'm going to vouch for this just off the fact that I have 8 extra badges because I've been grinding every season, obviously, to the max level. But just giving you guys the heads up on that. Now, 80 driving layup obviously gives the best layup animations between Zach LaVine or things like Jelly, etc., etc. Just the best layups that you can possibly get, and on top of that too, Hoff Giant Slayer. Now, that's also what I kind of wanted to run on this build on top of that too, because it's going to be really nice off being the small guard to have the Giant Slayer boost off getting those, you know, driving layups that maybe the driving dunks that get turned into a layup. Maybe you get fouled on them. Maybe they turn into and ones, stuff like that. Pair that with Silver Fearless Finisher too, goes a long way. Now, the one drawback to that, I am not going to have enough finishing badge points to be able to run Acrobat. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to be able to just put those extra badge points in to be able to run one core and then run Poster, Slithery, and then like Takeoff. Maybe core Poster, then run Slithery and Takeoff with the extra 14 finishing badges that I'll have. Because I'm going to have to get to 24 in total to be able to run all of them. But then on top of that too, just going to have to maybe throw something into Aerial Wizard, 2 points, and then I just can't run Acrobat. It's not going to be able to afford putting all those extra badge points in, because I already need to put a lot into extra for finishing just as is. Obviously, I need 5 extra in that aspect. I'm going to need 1 more shooting and then also at least 1 more playmaking too. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys my actual build and what it's looking like now, considering I still have to get my cores, like I said, even though 2K did give me max badges and max ratings and stuff like that. It has made the core progress a little bit easier though, because then I just get all the badges instantly. I don't have to work for, let's say, like the tier 3s progress and stuff like that. And I don't mean to like post this video flexing on you guys or anything, obviously. I mean, I've gone through that struggle already like dozens of times this year at this point. Actually, probably a dozen times. So that's just the truth, bro. But anyway, for the takeover options, we get Slash, Shot, Sharp, and Play. It's going to be pretty stagnant as far as which ones I want to run. Off the top of my head, I would prefer to still keep Easy Blow-Bys. I think with a build that has 93 dunk, and it should be just as good of a dunker as my other taller builds too, figuratively, and it still adds another contact dunk package as well. Secondary wise, I don't really know. I'm probably gonna still maybe even run double slash, but we'll see. I think that's maybe doing a little bit too much. Maybe I might even decide to run limitless primary and slash secondary, and maybe that's what we roll with as well. So for my early runs on this build, I'm gonna try and just play a little bit more rec center than anything, and obviously learn some jump shots, learn some timing on it. And to be fair with you guys too, it's very possible that I want to just play 5 out on a build that actually has some more defense, and maybe I want to make like maybe I still want to use, I should say, not make. I'm not making any more builds. Maybe I want to use something along the lines of my 6'9" plethora of builds that I have between all the different levels of 3-point shooting and pass accuracy and dunk, or maybe my 6'8" that has the half quick first step. But this is just something I wanted to make for the sake of having some fun with it. All right, so here we are with it. We already showed you all the ratings and stuff in the builder, so I don't really have to showcase that or anything. But as you can see, 99 overall, and I mean, it's crazy how simple of a grind this was, because obviously I didn't do anything to grind for it. Now I am still gonna have to get the poster core. That's gonna be a little bit of a tedious grind. I just gotta hop in rec for that, to put it things simply. I mean, if I can play with a couple of boys, or maybe even for the rec runs on stream, it's possible I could do that too. I think that could also be a fun thing to do with this build, is to play rec runs on stream, run 5 out with it, and just guard corner on defense. Let you guys play some defense, because that's not what I typically do. Typically I just guard ball, and I just like kind of say, well, just let me do it pretty much. But I need to grind for the level 40 or level 39, because what that's going to allow me to do is run the double playmaking core. Now real quick, I'll just show you guys as an example what's going to happen if I run the double playmaking core. I already got killer combos as well, so this is what we're looking at. This is the badge loadout right here. We got Hall of Fame on Clamp Breaker, killer combos, quick first step, unpluckable, and then gold on hyperdrive and heals for days. If I eventually get the Clamp Breaker core, I'm not going to grind this in my career just yet. I don't really got that in me, to be real with you, but if I do, that allows hyperdrive then to also get to Hall of Fame, which would be convenient as well. So that's the plan as far as playmaking goes, and that's what I'm talking about. Having the double playmaking core is going to be very nice. Now just keep in mind, we're just going to use our imagination for this stuff. When we get that eventual core progress that we have, or the core badge pattern that I'm talking about of the season 6, where you get the 1 shooting, 1 finishing, and 2 playmaking, forget I even have a defensive option. We're just gonna run these 3 badges, simple as that. Probably something between tier 1s. I'm never gonna really run workhorse in my opinion. I think I do want the bronze box out beast for pro-am. But yeah, at that point, then it's all these badges plus agent, because I'll have that cord off the extra core badge that we will have, and then also finishing for posterizer, and then we just run Slithery. So all the badges that you see right here, just add Slithery, add agent, simple as that. So as you can see, as far as the badges that I added, it was 5 finishing to get to 24 on the finishing. We added 1 more shooting to get to 24 on the shooting, because I believe it was at 23, and then for the playmaking up to 25. So I believe that I just put the extra from that point, I think 2 more into playmaking. And as you can see, we have a 24, 24, 25 badge count build right here. Now let's talk about one more thing, which is the animations. I do like the fact that you can run KPJ. This is actually AK's jump shot, out of the sake of not exposing his jumper. I'm not going to show it to you guys right now because he gave it to me. This is one thing I don't like about using my boy's jump shots, is because, you know, I don't want to give away people's other stuff because it's not exactly mine. But I do like the jump shot a lot. I will say that much. It's KPJ base We'll keep it about as simple as that. It's one of the perks that you get for being a smaller guard. Not to mention the other perk that you get for being a smaller guard, Trae Young dribble pull-up. It's a crazy fade. It works really good. Kyle Lowry hop jumper looks fire too. I gotta say, like, I actually think this is like one of the best like space creating hop jumpers that there are. Obviously you could run things like Allen Iverson, but it's a little bit more troll. It looks cool and it's fun to use. It's obviously not something that has a lot of wheels to it in competitive sense. But anyway, as far as dribble moves, however, I'm not really using a lot of small guard dribble moves, I've come to find out. However, I will say this much. Steve Francis is something I'm going to have to learn how to use on a build like this because it's the best sig size up in the game that small guards have access to. It makes sense. It makes total sense. And all it requires is still 89 ball handle. So I can still do that. Obviously, I got 97. I mean, obviously. But as far as the size of escapes, I'm not really sure what I'm going to rock out with yet either. So I didn't really try Trae Young yet. I don't really know what it's really great for. To be real with you guys, I just have the option to do so. I'm still very new to the build and I haven't really hopped on it too much yet. I tried Curry size up escape. I don't like it as much as I did in like previous years. I don't think the Curry escape is really as good as it used to be. I think honestly Steve Francis to the down diagonal on your stick with no sprint looks just as good, to be real with you, as the Curry escape for those types of dribble moves. Other than that, we still have the typical stuff. Westbrook cross, you got the pro behind the back, moving spin, KD. One could argue basic spin, but I don't really care for that. It's not really my style, to be real with you. And then we also have the normal moving step back, which people use for the Asta slide, which is this animation right here popping up there. So it's that one. But to be real with you guys too, I'm just going to switch back to James Harden for my moving step back. I prefer to have that snatch back in my bag. And I find that I don't really care for the Asta slide, to be honest with you. And again, it's all style based, and I still think that's fine for being a 6'3" guard. You don't have to run purely small guard animations. I will say though, some of them are unjustifiable to not run. Like for instance, I should probably use a size up escape that small guards are restricted to, but to be fair, some of the best guards in the game still use John Wall, which you can use on a 6'9". But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. I know this build doesn't seem competitive, and I know you guys seeing me on a small build like this is, again, something that you might think is pretty troll. You're gonna be like, oh, Lakers just here for content, and that's all it is. But to be real with you, I do think this build has wheels to it as far as being a competitive comp pro-am like 5-out build. I know all you've seen so far is either like Joe on his 6'8", and shout out to Joe, he actually beat us recently. I actually have a film session that I'm doing with him. We're both on the Discord chat and we're breaking stuff down as far as what we were doing for adjustments versus him and what he was doing for adjustments versus us. But anyway, my whole point here essentially is that I know all you guys have seen for 5-out is either Joe on his 6'8" with the Hoff quick first step and that's it, and he's still a big body, or you've seen me in the 5-outs as well with many different builds between 6'8" and 6'9". But you haven't really probably seen like competitive pro-am. I'm talking like against the league players or as aspiring league players, right? Like not rec, not ranked pro-am or anything like that. You probably haven't seen too many people utilize 6'3" builds, and I haven't either. It's kind of uncharted territory to an extent, but I do believe this has some real like potential to it as far as the fact that it has amazing driving dunking ability, still standing dunk, good driving layup with Hoff Giant Slayer. We got 92 3-pointer, gold limitless, all types of stuff like that too. Like just viable 3-point rating in general to be fading and stuff like that too, or just stand still and people have to respect it way harder. And then Hoff killer combos, Hoff clamp breaker, unpluckable quick first step, all that. The pass act, not amazing, but still good, 79. And then decent speed of ball as well. And then again, it still can hold its own on defense in my opinion. The acceleration's not immaculate, but compared to the 6'8", 6'9" builds, that's like 8 more or 9 more than what you're probably used to for a 6'8", 6'9". And then again, the small guard contacts, the elite contacts, all that stuff, 99 stam, gold hindless for days as well. I think this build has some real potential to it. I just have to unlock it as myself as a player. And we'll get there. I already have one thing down pat, and it's the dunk meter, for sure. The dribbling, I think I'm still plenty good at as well, as far as like creating with a build like this, whether it's my own downhill style or just long runs in general. It's not hard to dribble like that in this game, in my opinion. And then really what I do have to master is going to be the shot timing on the small guard stuff, paired with obviously fades as well, because all I really use is Tyler Hero fade. I know a lot of you guys maybe know about that or not, but I love that fade so much for the dribble pull-up. But I do need to learn the Trae Young. That's just the life of being a small guard at that point. So that's what we're looking for. And then I would need maybe teammates specifically, like to be able to play with this in comp pro-am, you need to have 2 viable wing defenders and 2 viable wing spot ups. And what I plan to do with that is actually have them both be the same 2 people. Like for instance, we could have one person be a 6'8 that guards ball with like 92 prim D. Example being, we have AK who has 89 ball handle on his 6'8 that can still play as like a secondary ball handler kind of, that still has 92 3-pointer, has 92 perimeter defense with like 80 something steal, and he can guard ball on that 6'8. It's a very viable defender. And then if you just make two of those, at that point you got two guys who can spot up wing, you got two guys who can handle the ball on their own and go in for a dunk on their own, and then you got two guys who can guard wings. And then from that point, our two corners on offense are probably Tonic and IQ, where it's simple as that. I mean, they just play back end on defense and play corner on defense, and that'll be opposite corner of Tonic every time. So that's how this could work, and I see a vision for it, but I don't know yet if I can take it fully seriously enough, or if I just belong on a 6'9 build, because some people aren't built for this stuff, to be real with you, and it's possible that I'm not, but I'm down to try it at least, and that's what I wanted this whole build to be, the vision of this. Maybe a progressive grind that you guys see me in yesterday's gameplay shooting like garbage, you know, on a like 3 hunting build, but then I was getting the hang of it toward the end of the run and stuff like that, or just in general as like through the game flow, and I'm able to just understand the shot timing, because I am still new to it at the end of the day. I mean, I've never used Trae Young dribble pull up until now. I've never used KPJ release until now. Same with a lot of the SIGs between like Steve Francis and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted this video to be, and that's what I want this build to be, is my example to you guys of the whole new playstyle picking up, and the fact that it's not always the easiest thing to do, but that's the point of the game, is to have some fun with this stuff, man. And to just get outside the box, bro, simply put. Anyway, that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub for new time noties, all that good stuff, and like always, try to win 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put small or put 6'3 in the comments. So supports my way through. Put 6'3 actually. It's small. We'll stay away from that. But anyway, that's all for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, feel free to drop a like. All that good stuff. But anyway, that's all. And on that, take it easy, man. Peace.